Our historians are going to be explaining the intersections between music and politics during the 20th century and how they correlated with each other. Some of the countries that they chose are America, South Africa, and Germany, and they are going to be talking about the events that happened in those timelines that made people use music as a way to express how they felt. We will be covering topics surrounding genocides, lynching, and as well as the demand to release freedom fighters.
The Holocaust, also known as the Shoah, was a genocide during World War II in which Nazi Germany, aided by local collaborators, made a fixed plan or system that murdered some 6 million European Jews, around two-thirds of the Jewish population of Europe, between 1941 and 1945, during World War II.
Ils étaient bâtissants, ils étaient des milliers. Nous aimons tremblant dans ces vagues plombées qui déchirent la nuit de leurs ongles battants. Ils étaient des milliers, ils étaient bâtissants.
The song is called Night and Fog. It is a song talking about all the victims that have passed away in the Holocaust. It's for the Jews, handicapped, gays, and political prisoners. This song was made for the people will not forget the victims and the time this historic event took place. The first line of the song states, "There were 20 and 100. There were thousands, naked and shivering in the thinning train cars." This explains that there were many people that were thin because of the lack of food and starvation. They were not treated humanely. The next line states, "Who tore at the night with their beaten fingernails," which most likely means that they were fighting back. They did not want to be sent to their death. They fought all they can, for they will not be put in the position that they were in. The moment the hand fell back down, nothing remaining but a shadow. They were not meant to ever see another summer. This means that when someone dies, usually all their fluids or liquids are released from their body. So when they die, they're also motionless. So when they died, their fluids left out their body, and their hands fell down, which casted a shadow. And when you are dead, you cannot see or hear or be part of life anymore, which means they were not part of the future, which means they will not be able to see another summer.
The government oppressed people in South Africa. They worked as domestic servants and took care of other people's children. People were exiled during the 1960s. They sang their stories, which explains what was happening to them. Kids were forced to go to school and learn a new language, but they protested. The youth was singing songs and expressing their feelings. The song Free Nelson Mandela explains the early 1960s arrest of Nelson Mandela's life imprisonment of 27 years and how the apartheid should let him go because he did not do anything wrong. They were oppressed for fighting the system, and there were struggle songs that talked about what they dealt with in South Africa. They had a powerful dance called the Toi Toi, and they sang the song Senzeni Na, which expressed how happy they were or the things that they dealt with.
In the 20th century, civil liberties, civil rights, women's rights, economic justice, politics, and war were among the popular subjects for protest songs in the United States. Artists like Billie Holiday took it to the stage and performed Strange Fruit that addresses the topic of lynching of African Americans across the country.
Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root, black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees.
The anti-lynching song was written by Abel Mirapol, who drew inspiration from a 1930 photo that captured the lynching of 2 black men in Indiana. Strange Fruit was not by any means the first protest song, but it was the first to show there an explicit political message in entertainment. Unlike the robust workers' anthem in the Union movement, it did not stir blood, but instead it chilled it. Although lynching was on the decline by the time of Strange Fruit, it remained the most vivid symbol of American racism. It's like a stand-in for the more subtle forms of discrimination against black population. So the name Bitter Fruit was changed to Strange Fruit because bitter was too badly judgmental, but strange, however, evokes a haunting sense. It puts the listener in the shoes of a curious observer spying the hanging shapes from afar and like moving closer towards a sickening realization. In 1999, Time designated Strange Fruit as the song of the century.